This is a brief overview of the web server slash desktop environment that we're using currently for web development offline. We're running Apache, Hadoop servers, and a few other goodies for data mining in the future if we need it. So what we're doing is disconnecting from the internet just to demo how, as a desktop and server, we are able to run some pretty high-end software like Ganglia, which is a web monitoring service. And of course, none of this is really set up to do anything right now. It's just installed and working. We're using the local host, or the IP 127.0.0.1 as our name server. So if we choose to set up a .com or .org or any domain we want for offline development, we just do it through here. Passwords 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on nearly anything requiring a password, and the username is usually going to be admin or root. So if you remember those things, you can get into all this stuff. So at the moment, I have Facebook.com installed as a local domain. We can add a database to it. Obviously, this is not affecting the real site, but the advantage of having this type of setup is we don't have to do any name replacements in the database or other files when we transfer the website from the local offline environment to the real live site. And of course, have a look at the front. This is not set up for secure HTTPS, so we have to take that off to see the result of the domain. So there we go. And of course, we can add pretty much anything we want to each domain we work with, similar to Site5 and other web hosting companies who offer a install section for WordPress. And as you can see here, we can pretty much install every major web application that is commonly used for website development. And just a brief overview of the software that's installed. This is going to be quick, so if you need to rewind, you might benefit from hitting the pause button. The medical imaging package we're going to be taking out, obviously, that's just for testing. As you can see, we have a large selection of graphical and media software, including for video editing. And even though we're running VMware here, we'll probably not have it in the version that we might need to distribute, just because it's $99 per license per computer. Instead, we'll more likely use something called KVM or VirtualBox. And of course, in the Office section, we have a Microsoft Office clone. The applications do the same thing as Excel, Word, PowerPoint. In fact, they will not only open Microsoft documents, they will save them as well. And that's about it. Obviously, we have more stuff here than we're going to be using, so the final distribution on the USB external drives and flash drives will be reduced significantly from what we're looking at. And the last thing we're going to look at now is the Forms plugin for WordPress called Caldera. And for that, we'll have to connect to the internet. This is the current boilerplate WordPress install that is being used for pretty much every new project. And this particular form software is completely free. They haven't even gotten their pro version ready yet. I really like the multi-part feature I couldn't find that for free anywhere except for this particular plugin. And as you can see, you can recycle the form, export it to another WordPress installation, and under entries you get to see who submitted. Obviously that can also be exported into like an Excel spreadsheet, sorted, imported into another database, maybe a newsletter or mailing list. And if we edit the form, we can see we have layout options. We can actually split these, move stuff around just by dragging and dropping. The ability to add radio buttons and phone number fields with masking is just as simple as clicking on whatever you want and placing it where it needs to go. This also has a nice conditional feature where you can assign hidden elements to appear if somebody clicks one of 3 radio buttons that needs more information. That way you can keep the clutter down. We'll look at that real quick. So assuming I'm not choosing this or that, and going to our company driver radio button, you'll notice on the right we have a field that requires additional information to be filled out. So that's about it. In the next video we'll take a closer look at some of the other advanced options in this installation, as well as some of the Office applications and automation software we'll be most likely using to cut down on our time managing all this stuff so we can spend more time on the phone, hopefully.